Hello and welcome to the Business Renovator. I am so excited today. I have a wonderful guest. Not that my other guests aren't wonderful. They all wonderful in their own way. But my friend that we're going to talk about today is in the business of wow. But before we get there, let's go to Brian Monaghan's book, Customer Delight. And today is March 5th. So I actually picked March 5th because there's 365 days that you can pick. And the way that Brian's choreographed or curated this book is that you can read it from day one to the end, or you can open it up to any particular page that you speaks to and think about that quote. So today's quote was really relevant to what I'm thinking about today and with our wonderful guest. Here it goes. It's being able to touch so many people through my businesses and make money while doing it is a huge blessing. That was Magic Johnson. Our friend Brian Monaghan's take on that is when you're in the groove of creating customer delight, a funny thing happens. You realize you're getting more than you're giving. Delight is perpetual and a self-fulfilling prophecy. So having said that, I'm excited to bring on our guest. Let's get rid of Brian's book because my guest, as I said before, is in the business of helping business owners wow their clients and customers with custom note cards and branding gifts. But actually, she's evolved to be much, much more than that. That's where she started about a year ago when I first met her. And it was a blessing and part of the lemonade that came out of the lemons that we were thrown about this time last year when we were thrown into a tailspin with COVID-19. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end. The world's coming to an end. Well, not for my friend Kellen. It was the start of a new beginning. She had a job with an organization, wasn't really happy there, but it was paying the bills, and at the same time, she was inventing her new self. I'm excited to bring her on. You can see her today. Good morning, Kellen, my friend. How are you doing today?
Coach Bill, I don't know. I may be a blessing to you, but I might be a curse too. kind of a double sword.
Well, that's the yin and the yang thing with life, right? Yes, there's always two sides to everything. There's an up, there's a down, there's a left, there's a right, there's an in, there's an out. You need that.
I think you described me perfectly. I think we could end the show now.
Okay, well, thanks for being here. I don't have any sponsors support. We're done. Well, since we booked the time and we've paid the big network fees to be here, let's just chat. I'm all for that. So what's the best thing that's happened to you since the last time we actually got together and hung out on a live stream or in a video room or somewhere? Something you feel like sharing. What's your whiffle? What I feel like sharing?
Well, I can't remember. Was I writing my book then?
Well, you were starting that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm almost done with it.
Are you?
Done by the end of the month. Mm-hmm.
This month?
Yeah.
Wow. What's it called?
Becoming a Woman of Wow.
Oh, darn it. I don't want to become a woman.
Well, you can.
Okay. I
have a niche audience for this one, so I'll write a book for you later.
So why did you pick that niche?
Because until over the last year, I didn't really realize that my story was of interest to anybody. And the more people that I talk to, the more people say, oh my gosh, yeah, that's, I can relate to that. And, and a lot of them are my age. And I'm hoping that my target, it would be like 20 to 30 to 40-year-olds so that they can figure it out before they end up with like an old lady like me. And, and then they can enjoy most of their life.
And what was the impetus that inspired you to write it?
So Michael Heppel,
mm-hmm.
He did a Write That Book pop-up event. Like it was 7 days straight of like a quick, we're going to help you, write a chapter, design your cover, just, define your avatar, your purpose statement, all that stuff. And I thought, I don't have much to do. I'm going to join that group. And I did all the assignments and, I got a lot of kudos and, nice comments and, on my writing, but Michael hadn't really, said anything. So I thought, well, I tried it. And, and when I was in my 20s, I was at a job where they told me I was the worst writer they've ever met. And from that point, I never wrote again. I even had trouble writing. I even had trouble writing in journals because I was that that really set me back. So I get a call from Michael, and he tells me, are you going to be in my master class? I go, well, you didn't really say anything. And he goes, no. He goes, well, there's somebody that truly believes in you, because they're offering a scholarship to pay your way in. And this person, I'm going to start crying, because
Okay.
this is a person that truly believes in me, and I love this person too. And for that person to have that kind of faith in me, and that's why I think I'm getting it done so quickly, because I just want to make that person not sorry that they invested in me.
You know what that reminds me of? And I may forget the actual author's name. Actually, I probably already have. But there was a series of movies that came out of it. It was a similar sort of story. Went to school to become a writer, like the college school, to become a writer. And her prof told her that she was the worst ever. If she promises not to write, he would give her a grade so she could keep her scholarship. But promise me you'll never write. You're the worst writer ever. What the hell did that prof know? Not much, because she wrote a series of books and turned her life around. Ran into somebody much the same as you, somebody who she shared her story with, like you are today with us, and liked her. I don't know if he financially sponsored her, but he was in a position with a large publishing company to have an influence. He said, write me some stuff and then let me read it. And she did it. And the rest is history. I believe the movies turned into be around the Jewel of the Nile and that whole franchise, which made millions and inspired a lot of people and was very entertaining. So one of the things that this brings up for me, if you don't mind, I'm going to go look for this quote. I know now why I picked it, if I can find it. Here it is right here. Let's look at this together. It's not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Sir Edmund Hillary. That's exactly what you did. And people that you shared your story with, you put yourself out there, liked you. So I think if somebody's listening to this and you've got that voice of doubt and self-deprecating language, listen to my friend here. She's pushed herself beyond her limits of comfort. And as a result of that, book's almost ready to be published. I'm going to jump into some other stuff here about you. Is that okay?
Okay.
She's the owner, designer, and creator at Cards That Wow, which I'll give you the website for that after when we get further down. She's the host of not one show, not two shows, but a third show that I'm aware of. And the shows are Candidly Speaking with Kellen Shell, and the other one is Ignite Your Wow, isn't it? That what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's kind of the headline of what we're talking about here today, and that's why I'm excited that you're here. And then the new one I just found this one
I haven't even told you yet.
is going to be in Clubhouse on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I haven't heard it yet because I only stumbled across it yesterday. So I'm always impressed on how you keep on keeping on doing stuff and wowing in not just the cards, but other things that you do, the book, the people you support, the daughter you're raising, all those kind of wonderful things. Oh, now that I'm looking at some of the things I captured, you love these four-legged things. You call them dogs.
I call them pugs. I don't even call them dogs because that's too pedestrian.
So you have three, Crazy Max and two others, but you've also been involved and promote, what is it? Pagapalooza? Yeah.
That's it's a fundraiser that I've been working on for my nonprofit Daisy Senior Paw Connection.
Right. So you do a whole bunch of wonderful things, and it's like your life has just been magical with no bumps and lumps along the way.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I just had a pothole last week.
Oh, did you fill it in?
Oh, barely.
You don't have to share if you don't want to. If you want to tell us about it, absolutely go ahead, but you don't have to.
No.
Some things
I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah, some things are not public. And you know, the thing I like about you is this. I stumbled across this from being in another group that you and I hang out with, and it wasn't written like this originally. you expect sales, because the group we're hanging out with was mostly people in the sales field. But what spoke to me was I'm a barely out of the closet improv performer. I've never really performed for anybody other than the courses I've taken, and going to some improvs and being pulled up on the stage. And the reason how you get pulled up on the stage is kind of the approach you have in life. You say yes to things. So you live this. Yes, you expect success. So I
detriment.
What's that? Well,
to detriment.
Sometimes, yeah. But sometimes
I've learned boundaries. Yeah. Which is probably the most important.
If you didn't say yes to all these things that showed up that you tried, you wouldn't be having 3 shows, being the author of a book soon to be published. And actually, one of the other people that's kind of exciting that you're helping and supporting is a comedian.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, so you're talking about Steve, right?
Yeah, Steve Russo.
So, I invited him to Clubhouse, and we're hosting. I'm helping him. It's going to be his room, but I'm just kind of, because you know how it is. The first time you're in a room and you're there by yourself, and you wonder if somebody's going to come, and you're like,
crickets.
Yeah. So I like to be there with somebody that's starting it, because then they're not alone. We can at least talk back and forth, or we talk business sometimes. But he's going to do a new live stream, and he's almost ready to launch that. And I was given the honor of making one of the props for that show. And did I show it to you?
Yeah, I was going to get you to talk about that a bit.
Yeah. Oh God, that, you know what, that was, I know I should feel like an artist before then, but when I saw that video and I saw that book, I felt like an artist, like a legitimate artist. And no, I have plenty of people tell me, no, Kellen, you've been an artist like your whole life. But that was when I felt legitimate.
Right. I think this quote here fits with that a little bit. It's an old quote, so it only has the male gender, but I think it should say people. But because it's a quote that I'm using specifically, I didn't want to alter it. But it's people succeed when they realize that their failures are the preparation for their victories. And I think, to me, that speaks to what you've done. You went to school to be in the arts, right? That's what you graduated.
I was a 3-dimensional studio. My degree's in 3-dimensional studio art, and which is basically sculpture, which I have never done.
That was my next question. So what was the first project you did when you finished school?
No, it's funny because my first job out of college, I used to work at this pizza restaurant during the summers and stuff. And, when I was commuting, and I just love that job. I really, and that's why I think Eric Bam and I get along so well. I think we're kindred pizza spirits, because my mom finally said, Kellen, you have a degree. You have actually 2 majors. You need to find a job. And I'm like, oh, but I love the pizza restaurant, because I was, assistant manager, and oh my God, it was
I thought it was because you were sculpting the dough.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, so I did nothing with my art part of the degree. And I tell a lot of people this story about how my values and my career were never in alignment, because my values and the things that are, that make me go, wow, were artful, creative, and I dealt with a lot of numbers for 18 years. I was a commercial real estate broker, analyzing properties. It's like the yin and like the polar opposite of what my brain was wanting to do. And COVID gave me the opportunity to, slow things down a little bit. I'll tell you, the first 2 months, well, I feel horrible for all the tragedy. For me, it was a time to take a breath and just unplug. And, we were offered all these wonderful opportunities to learn. And I just grabbed every one of them. I've probably read 40 books, and I read not a lot, but I do, if I see something, I'll pick it up. And right now I've got 3 books going just for the guests who are going to be on my show. So I took the time to learn who I am, and I don't know if I've told you this before, but for the longest time, I was so busy trying to be what everybody else thought I should be or wanted me to be that I didn't even know what my favorite ice cream flavor was because it changed with whoever.
You were
It's
hanging out
crazy.
with.
So I use that time to just, selfishly work on me, but it's benefiting everybody because I am a better person. I'm a better person than I was a year ago. That's for sure.
So what you just said was a reminder for many of us. We haven't been on an airplane for quite a while. I haven't been on a plane since I got back from, I think the last trip I did was Portugal. Whenever that wasn't last year, it was the year before that. 2019. I'm getting lost with numbers. Anyway, and one of the things they tell you on the flight safety message is put your mask on first. So I think what I heard was because of COVID-19 and your where you were, it allowed you the opportunity to slow down, to go fast, and really reflect on what's important for you. And in doing that, you identified your core values. Is that what I heard?
Mhm. I made them in alignment with my
Mhm.
career.
And you know how many people don't do that? I
A lot.
don't know what the number is, but you've heard of the 80-20 rule. I
Mhm.
would say it's 80% of us that don't do that. So in my business of working with business owners, entrepreneurs, and athletes, one of the things that is a foundational piece to it is, what are your core values? And sometimes our core values don't show up until we have something like what you just experienced. When I first had it introduced to me as a concept where it really resonated with me about 3 decades ago, was you can say you have integrity, and then uh, under normal circumstances, your integrity is in place. But what happens if you're in business with a partner and you have a gambling problem and you lose it, you some money, and you owe some serious dough, and there's some extra money in the bank account allocated for emergencies for the business, not for gambling habits. But your one core value is integrity. And you talk to the partner because you want to have integrity, and the partner says, no, it's for the business, it's not for your habits. So we got to leave it there. So he didn't leave it there. He took it out. So under duress, is that really a true core value? And if it is, then are you being in alignment with it or not? So core values are really critical.
Mhm.
Just one other thing on that. A fellow I follow in LinkedIn, he's the CEO and owner of a home building company in Calgary, where I live. And he posted a question around core values, and it's really created some interesting support and comments and feedback in the post. So what you did is showing up in everything you're doing. You seem to be happy most of the time. That's and like, really, why should you be happy? We've been in lockdown, can't go see people. I mean, there's a whole bunch, and you even had COVID, you and your family, right?
The whole family, yeah.
And other than that time, you weren't so happy.
Oh,
But
I'll tell you,
after,
I was miserable.
yeah,
I
but
couldn't
before
even
that,
smile. I would be like, I couldn't.
but I've never seen you be unhappy. I've seen you be frustrated, but that's okay, because in the frustration, out comes the butterfly from the cocoon.
Well, I'll be honest with you. 2 weeks ago, Wednesday night, I had a meltdown because I'm doing so much, and I was just pushing myself and pushing myself. And I was having a few issues with my daughter, and it's a lot of pressure. My mom's living with us, and I literally like shut down and I unplugged. And everybody's like, or no, I've had some people, oh, Ronnie, hi, Ronnie. I love him.
He's awesome, isn't he? He's a
Yeah,
good win.
he is. He's a wow. He wows me.
He
But
inspired you,
anyway,
didn't he, a little bit?
he did. So, friends were telling me, you need to slow down. You need to give something up. And so I ended up taking 4 days where I sat out on the back. I did what I had to do, like as far as business is concerned, but I sat on the deck with my dogs. And then I started, reading some fun books, not some self-help books. And I slept in, all 4 days. And after the second day, I stopped feeling guilty about it. And then I went for longer walks, and I realized I don't have to give something up. I need to purposefully take a break because I was at a slump. I couldn't write. My creativity was gone, and I was panicking. I'm like, my whole life revolves around creativity at this point. So, but then after that fourth day, Monday, I got back and I'm like, that worked. So I'm not going to take 4 days off in a row anymore, but I purposefully at lunchtime, I go out and sit in the grass with the dogs and let them run all over me. And I take longer walks, and I take more purposeful breaks to because my brain is always thinking,
Mhm.
the detriment sometimes. But yeah,
One of
so
my
yeah, I'm human and I am happy most of the time, but there's, things happen. And I think that's a way, like it's your body telling you, slow down. And actually it was a time for me to slow down and enjoy my 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 achievements and my successes. Because what do you have me do? You had me write 100 things that
Yeah, the
accomplished
100
it.
success list. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
I'm at 76. I'm at
we'll
76.
we'll keep adding because now you've got 3 shows. Are they on there?
Yeah. No, the new show isn't on there.
And what
But
about the book?
the
Not
book
the
is,
But
oh,
the book
sorry.
you made for Steve, the work you did there, I know the effort. Is that on there?
No, because and it wasn't until I saw it in that video that I thought that is good. And that, remember I told you that's what that legitimate, it made me feel legitimate as an artist.
So
And so it will go on there. Yes.
yeah, big or small, recall them all. I'm a big fan of that. Let me share, in case anybody's watching this and never heard me talk about the 100 success list. I learned it from a number of ways, and I've applied it in my life, and it's helped me move forward with um, a level of comfort and enthusiasm, looking forward to something versus trepidation and stressing. Oh my God, I'm worried about shit. And there's a Dr. Bandera. He's originally Canadian, but he's living in California. I think that's where Stanford is, isn't it?
Hmm.
He's a doctor of psychology, and he's a master of efficacy. And he says that we go through our life way too quickly and way too lightly with the things that we do. We take ourselves for granted. Like we work our asses off, head down, and then we finish it. We meet the milestone and then go, okay, what's next? We don't give ourselves time to say, wow. And it's not to be braggadocious, but it's to give sanction and credibility to the things we've become, what we've accomplished, and who we've helped along the way.
Well, and oh, sorry.
Ron sent me a post, and I won't read it, from somebody who he'd introduced to watching my Business Renovator live stream. And I don't know who the person is, and it doesn't matter, but the feedback that I got, that's on my 100 success list. She
Good.
compared me to somebody who has been an influencer to many millions of people in a positive way, somebody who I studied and taken their courses, and have somebody I don't know see something or hear something that I said, and it was amazing. So I think about that, not to swell my head, but to remind me I'm better than what I give myself credit for. And that's a real important piece. So the 100 success list is a way to help us sanction and give credit to ourselves for the things we've done. And then it doesn't stop at the 100. I've never changed the name of it, but I continually add to it
I
because
started
I'm
a book,
continually
a
winning.
journal, and that's all it is.
Yep. And then just adding that stuff. And then you go back, and if you're having a down day or if you're stressed out, it's a way to say, oh yeah, I forgot I did that. No. And when you look back at these things, the emotions that were there at the time show back up, and they lift you up to another level. It's amazing. I'd like to say I was a genius behind understanding and doing it, but I'm not. It's like these psychologists. But
you're helping people use it, and
I'm
that's, I
sharing
think,
the
more
message.
important. It's no good
Yeah,
if nobody knows to use it.
that's
And
right.
I actually made you a present.
Aw.
Candy candy.
Did you know it was my birthday coming up?
No, but I just appreciate you, and I made you. I'll send it to you later. It's a
Okay.
PDF of a hundred list thing, and you can use it as a freebie to get
Oh,
a lead magnet. I
smart.
made you a lead magnet.
Awesome. That's brilliant. Oh, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
Look
full
who's
of
here.
surprises.
It's RC, and it's not RC Cola.
It's Randy
It's
Candy.
Randy.
A
It's
shark.
Sharknet. I'm just going to
Talk about
acknowledge you.
another guy that is just a
Oh,
power.
Randy.
Yeah, God.
He's a
I
shark.
love his show. I don't have nothing to do with building and metal buildings, but I love his show because the guests that he has are so, I mean, they're interesting and no, I love where he's going.
Do you think he's passionate about what he does?
Oh yeah, just a
Yeah.
little.
Just
Wait, is
a
today your
little.
birthday?
No, but this month.
Okay. I thought I
For the
missed it.
first person that finds out what it is, I'll have a prize for you. I have this free heat magnet.
It's a PDF.
I'm just kidding.
It's
No,
so
I
funny.
am having a birthday though.
It's
This
so
is my
funny.
buddy
I'll
Joe.
wake up at 2 in the morning, and that's when I made it. It was at 2 in the morning. I'm like, I need to make Phil one of these things. This would be cool. So and then I went back to sleep, and then
This is a friend of mine who lives close to Ron. They're both in the same state, I think, Massachusetts. MA. It's easier to say MA. They live in MA because I'm
man,
Canadian. Anyway, Joe, look what he said. He's very impressed of your accomplishments and you're continuing to promote your business and stick to your core values. So good for you. You've getting
thanks, Joe.
And Ron's back here. What's he saying?
You
He
earn
said
it.
you earned it. I'm getting birthday wishes.
Hey, Tom.
That's awesome. Thank you for being here. Hey, look at that. Oh my God. This is a friend I haven't seen for a long time.
Nice.
It's amazing. We were in Toastmasters together a long time ago. And I'm getting a message. Yes, let's connect.
Yep, you need to be on Tom's
Thank
show.
you. Look, you brought him in. You're such an influencer. Happy to do that. Send me a message and let's connect and talk about that.
His show is, I love being on his show too. Yeah.
I want to talk more about you. What's next up for you?
I'm moving.
Yes. And a buddy of mine says, oh, that's a great part of it, Georgia.
Was it Mark?
My friend?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you know him. His name's Chris Deacle, and he's not a big fan of social media.
Oh,
but
okay.
when I was telling him my good buddy is moving from California to Georgia, he said, "Oh, wait, no," and he described some areas. He said, "You don't want her to go there. Where's she going?" He was really quite concerned. But then when you passed it on, and I sent it to him, he said, "Oh yeah, that's a good place."
Yeah, it's so I've been making offers. It's a really hot market right now. So I like one of them, I didn't get it because the person that beat me out had a 15-day escrow, and I could only do a 31 because I have to give my tenant notice. So Georgia, wait, I can't even. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I can try type it in. I can try and make a banner on the fly like Bruce does all the time. I'm not as efficient as he is.
Hoschton, Hoschton, Hoschton.
Yeah, I'm not going to try it. Well, I could try it right there.
So I'm moving because I'm done with California. I loved living here.
Why are you done with California?
It's just, I can't handle it.
And
I want a house.
Did I get it right? Let me see if I got it right.
Hosch.
I don't think I got it right.
Ton. Hoschton.
Okay, well, something like that.
Yeah. That's the phonetic spelling.
Yeah, that's phonetically speaking.
Yes. Well, I can't afford a house here. I have a condo in San Diego, but I can't buy up. So my mom, and actually and part of it is my mom's best friend moved to Georgia a little under a year ago. Okay. And my mom's 80 and they miss each other. And so I checked out the area and I'm like, I could live here pretty easily. The weather's great. The houses are totally affordable. And she'll be 15 minutes from her best friend.
And you showed me a couple of pictures of houses you're considering. And I'm going, man, I'm moving to Georgia.
Yes. They're beautiful. Nice.
They're really nice.
And then this, I think tomorrow or today, there's a house coming on the market. It's a new construction. It hasn't even been built yet. So I'm like,
wow.
I swore I'd never do a new build ever again. But I mean, I can't not do it at this point. So Yeah. So that's new. When I finish this book, I'm starting a new book, Raising a Woman of Wow, which is a story about my daughter and I. And that one's going to be super funny and super educational all in one. And then, of course, the third book is Pugs That Wow. Because I don't know if you know this, I had a blog a long time ago, and I've got like 6 months worth of blog posts, and I'm going to compile that into a story because it was life lessons that I learned from my pugs.
Is it for adults or kids?
It's for it could be for anybody, but it's more adults.
Yeah.
Because
What's cool about that?
I talked about like I gave them the Drake personality test, each of them. Like,
Yeah.
well, I answered for Rocco because at the time he was my dog, and Gus was Emily's, and so I had them take the tests, and then I'll tell you what, they were spot on because they all took on our personalities, and I'll share that story with you. I just dug them up. So
What about Mad Max?
Max, I'm gonna have to add stories for him because he's getting his own chapter. Because
He could have his own book.
yeah, you're right. I'm thinking I might do a blog on Max because the other ones are just so, they don't do anything, and then Max is a terror.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
and
acts
then
like a big dog, right?
huh?
He acts like a big dog.
He acts like he's like a golden retriever. Okay, and then my last thing I'm going to tell you about, which is top secret. Thanks, Tom. Is a new I'm doing a collaboration with somebody most of us know, and I'm really excited about it. And these are the sketches.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me make you big.
Nope, that's it. I'm not showing you anything else. It was just a tease. It was a tease, and it has something to do with these colors.
Wait a minute. I need a producer. Look, if this was
you're big.
I'm the wrong big guy. Oh well. If Bruce was here, everything would run smoothly. He's amazing.
So
cool.
That's my color palette for this project. We're launching it in 2 weeks on the Shell and Kel show. Shell and Kel show. And I am super excited to be working with this lovely lady.
Now, this is how I should have done it. So for those of you who would like to know how to do StreamYard, actually, that's the platform I'm using to do this. And to see these sort of things, you can learn how to do this. And I actually could send you a link to StreamYard. You could get a link and try it out. It's really cool. This was a game changer for me. Before COVID-19, I was actually looking for some way to broadcast out like we're doing today, when I hadn't imagined anything as good as this. And I was originally just going to do Zoom, and then buy the webinar version. It was going to be like $80 a month just for that. And it goes out to one place, Facebook. That was it. And then because of the people we met and where I met you and in the Gittimer space of emerging sales winners, I got introduced to this platform because people were using it. Vanacek was using it. Gittimer was using it, a few other people. And I thought, well, hell, I got to try this out. I think this is exactly what I was looking for. And it is.
I think you're doing a fabulous job.
Thank you. And it is a pretty easy tool to use. It's not hard to learn. If I can learn it, anybody can learn it.
Well, obviously, I can't.
Yeah, but you're smart. You got people on your team to do it. If you have a producer, it actually makes it easier because they can do the production part of it. They can move the pictures around and accentuate who's speaking and bring up props and type in, oh, that's a good one. Let's put that URL in because we hadn't thought about it. I've seen Bruce do that. Also, Wes Wyatt has done a great job. He's part of our Mega group, right? So awesome gentlemen.
I love the penalty box.
Yeah, those guys are awesome, aren't they?
They are. They're on fire right now. So yeah, and as far as my shows go, I've got some great guests coming up. I've got the first African American woman to climb Mount Everest. I've got an MTV personality next week.
Wow, you're kicking ass.
Yeah, and it's all thanks to Clubhouse. I know some people don't understand it, and I've told you this story 100 times, or you've probably heard it 100 times. I was on there for 2 days straight, didn't sleep, barely ate, but I learned every bit of it. And now, actually, you know Joe Ingram, right?
Yeah.
I bought his. Sorry, my chair's squeaky. I have to get a new chair. I bought his book, Clubhouse Journal, And so what I do now is I go into rooms strategically, and I write down, I take screenshots of their bios of people that I'm interested, that I know that I have an
Right.
idea for, and so these are some of the people
Wow.
that I've either done work with or am going to do work with or going to contact and do work with.
That's
So,
brilliant.
and then, that's how I ended up with I got like 6 more pages, but that's how I ended up with the new Clubhouse show. Is we were in a room together, and then I said, "Oh, can I be a guest on your show?" Because I loved her format, but I must have miscommunicated to her because she thought I asked if I could be her co-host, and I'm like, "Oh my God, no, I would never be that bold." And then we ended up talking, and then we did a show last night, so now I'm going to be her co-host.
See, because you do one of these things, and I was just looking to see if I still had it in my banners. I think I've taken it out. It was about asking. You got to ask, and ask. Because if you don't ask, you don't get. And if you do ask and they say no, you're no worse off than you were before, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
And I don't have that anymore.
I'm used to rejection.
Well, it's not
I sold
personal.
ads for commercial real estate publication.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, big time. Wow.
So
Is there
that's what's
anything? What else would you like to share with our wonderful audience?
How wonderful you are, and blessed I am to have you as a friend.
I thank you.
And I'm, I don't want to sound condescending or anything, but the evolution of your show has been fabulous, and that's why I'm so happy to be here, because I adore you, that. But I think if we're going to talk about, finding your way through this cloudy world that we're in right now, the biggest takeaway I got most recently was the take care of yourself, give yourself, don't, and we're the hardest on ourselves. I mean,
Yeah.
I push myself, and you're more critical of yourself than anybody else, and a lot of the things that you perceive that you hear from somebody else they're exaggerated in your mind. So if you hear one little tiny negative, in my head, it turns into a billboard of negativity inside my head. And once I got past the fact that their thoughts I have no control of, and the only thing I can control is the way I act, my actions, because that old quote of actions speak louder than words is how I'm living my life right now. And I suggest everybody else to try it as well.
So you just reminded me of something that you talked about earlier in our conversation together today.
Mm-hmm.
And that was about, you took the 4 days off. You hit a wall, and in fact, you listened to your body and you did that. One of my mentors, Leland Val Vanderwall, who's since been gone for a number of years, but he's still in my head, thank goodness. He says we need to take time away from what we do, just like what you were prescribing today. And he said we need to have a recreation. And if you take that word and change it a little bit, take it to recreate. By taking time away from the stuff we do on a regular basis, our creative juices and our tapping into whatever that is for whatever you are and who you are, our infinite intelligence, answers to the problems we think we have or we do have will show up. I've been on a conversation when I've taken time off away from, I've been hunting and working on a very large project, and it's finally come to fruition and the agreement's signed. Been working on it for 2 years, and now we're going to work together for the balance of this year, and in the future is the goal. But some of the pieces I was trying to figure out, how the heck can I make this amazing for them and give them what they're looking for, like helping them, their management team, get the coaching experience so they can coach and mentor the people through this program I've created for them. And I was talking to somebody, not about what I do. Actually, it was the gal where I have my mailbox office for another company that I have in the directional drilling side of things. And those guys are big and burly, and I didn't want them to know where I live in case my software messed up. So they go to the mailbox place. It's a security blanket, but they're all great guys, and nobody's ever had to do that. And the software's never crapped out on them. Oh no, but my brain just crapped out on me.
I do that. I usually do that once a show. I'll be in the middle of the question and I'll go, I'm sorry, I forgot what I was going to talk about.
So thank you for filling in that. Now I got back on track. So
You're good.
in talking to Judy, the exact concept and process to deliver what I said I was trying to figure out showed up. All the pieces. Then I started writing, and I said to Judy, I said, I don't know if you know what you did, but I really appreciate your input on solving this problem for me. And all we did was talk about my mailbox. I'll phone her up and say, the people in mailbox 484, can you tell them to turn down the noise? I'm trying to sleep. So we have those kind of conversations. It's just a mailbox. It's not very big. Anyway, so taking time to recreate is a really important piece of the puzzle. And then the other thing was to remember to do the 100 success lists and don't take ourselves for granted. We act in accordance not as the truth is, but how we perceive it to be. Mm-hmm. And what we're thinking about becomes what we are. So if you don't like what you are getting today, look back at the thoughts that you had, recognize the ones that are disempowering, and stop it. Stop watching. And if you want to watch a funny video, go watch the Bob Newhart Stop It one, where he's giving psychological counsel to a patient. It's a skit. It's funny, but the message is powerful. Something I use with my coaching clients on a regular basis. It'll make you laugh and get you to think about the things you're thinking about and how they're not serving you.
In the creative break or the block I had, I am so much better for my clients in doing that because they're getting the best work. Oh, there's Ray. Hey, Ray. And I love that I can help my clients stand out.
Yeah.
And they do. I mean, they, when they buy a framed or branded, a gift for their clients that is hung on their wall with probably the most personal part of their business, which is their logo, and they think of you. I
broke the rule of leaving off the camera. I shouldn't have done that, but
oh, that's okay. I filled in. Don't worry. Yeah, I knowing that client is thinking about you every day they see that picture is, and thinking of you in a very positive and happy way.
These are 3-dimensional. I'm just trying to get the image. Maybe I need to make it bigger. How do I do that? Here we go. Watch this.
Okay.
See if I did that right. No, I didn't do it right. Isn't that the big one? It's not working. Where's Bruce?
I know. Where is he when we need him, huh? Oh, look, I'm back. Oh, there you are.
Here. There, that's bigger. See that? It sparkles. It's 3-dimensional-ish.
I can't show you the one that is for a client because their client hasn't received it yet. But
right.
This is a one I made for one of my clients. And
hang on. Stay there. I got to fix this. I figure out how to do this now. There you go.
So it's 3-dimensional, and this is her logo. It's very simple. I could do simple to complex, but when she puts that in her office, every time she looks at that, she's going to go, oh, God, Kellen got that for me. And that same feeling can happen with you and your clients.
Exactly. So we could talk for a bit longer, I think.
Oh my God. I sometimes don't shut up.
No, well, the two of us, I like your energy. It's awesome. You're very positive. You do make lemonade that wows people, and you do it in a wide variety of ways, starting out.
I had a little vodka to it, though.
Whatever floats your boat, honey.
My last few weeks, that's been the case.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, right? So
I'm not on the sauce anymore. I'm good now.
You're amazing. So what is it you always remember to do that I sometimes don't? Oh, yes. If you like this, share it out with the people in your space. If you watch us on the replay, go #replay. This will be in 3 platforms. It's actually on LinkedIn, YouTube, and obviously Facebook, where most of us are, or some of us are. And I do these on a regular basis. What's that?
Are we in LinkedIn now?
Yes, we are.
Hi, LinkedIn.
Yeah,
that's another platform that I use a lot with Clubhouse.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, were you signing off? Because if we can do this another time.
Okay, let's do it another time. A reason to have a sequel. I was just to give people their lives back. So share it out. It is on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm looking for creative, interesting people like Kellen to speak to, if that's you or you know somebody. The main theme about what I do at the Business Renovator is around 3 keywords: sales, marketing, and mindset. And sometimes it's only one of them, sometimes it's all 3, and sometimes it's a little bit of 2 of them. But that's really what we talk about. Nothing else. No religion, no politics, none of that stuff. No cancel society. You can go get that somewhere else. All I'm trying to do is a business renovator. Help you remove the walls that might be in the way of you having the ideal life that you want and deserve. If that resonates with you, hang out with us at the Business Renovator. I'm Coach Phil, or Phil Jilks. It's been a blast hanging out with you, Kellen. And we'll
don't
catch
forget to contact Phil for your free PDF of 100 great things.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I will send that out. As soon as I get it. It's in
You'll
production.
have it this afternoon.
Thanks, Kellen. That's it for this time. Have a wonderful weekend. It is Friday here where I'm at. If you're in Australia, it's probably Saturday morning. I get mixed up with the time zone. I know they're the day and a half ahead of us here, I think. Anyway, thanks to everybody for being here. And if you catch it on the replay, let us know. If you have a question that you would like to have addressed by the Business Renovator, send it off and we'll do our best to either have the answer or bring on an expert that can give us the best answer. Be well and be wonderful.